Hello everyone, welcome back to True Oracle Tarot. This reading is for the sign of Aries for December 2025. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you feel connected to this reading and know anyone who may need to hear this message. Also, it helps the algorithm push the video out so it can reach others who would need to hear this reading. Thank you. I hope everyone's doing well. So today we're going to start with personal growth and then move on to money and then love. Oops. Okay, your first card is the Five of Cups, Seven of Wands, Four of Cups, Two of Swords, Three of Swords, the Magician, and the Queen of Wands. I see a bit of loss and some stagnation here in this reading, but let's get into it. For personal growth, the Five of Cups here is, you acknowledging what's making you unhappy at the moment, what the root cause of your unhappiness or dissatisfaction. Okay, and it's also telling you to stop dwelling in it, okay, because it's making you stagnant, almost frozen in place, unable to move forward. All right, and sometimes everyone has made mistakes in the past. It's no sense looking back and regretting it. The best situation sometimes is to just accept it. You've made the mistake and move forward, because if we keep looking back, we're not living in our present, right? And our present is what creates our future. Okay, so the card is telling you to just move on, see the opportunities in front of you, and seek emotional support if you need to at this time. Sometimes you may just need to talk something out. This is the Seven of Wands. It's the card of defiance, standing your ground. There's a lot of things going on in your life right now, that's testing your resilience, and you may have to defend yourself, defend your position. Could be at work, could be in a relationship as well, okay? And you need to also create boundaries at this time. You are strong enough, Aries. You're strong enough to hold your ground. You're strong enough to hold your position, against external and internal pressures, whether it be from work, family, or a connection. And here's the Four of Cups, right? You can also be, it's talking about boredom. Like if you're bored, find another hobby, find a hobby. Okay. And recognize your complacency. Sorry, complacency. You know, it's a sign that you've become disconnected from your purpose and also things around you. You know, just not love connections, or could be just people in general, or you could be bored at work. So it might be a good time to pursue another career, or maybe a side hustle, okay, that gives you some fulfillment if your current position is secure, right? Because at these times now, it might be best to, if you're in a position that's long term, to hold it right now, okay? So find something else that takes away, remove that boredom from your life, okay, that gives you a bit passion. Find a hobby, okay? You know, open your mind and your eyes to new possibilities. There are possibilities out there. Even if it's a relationship, there's new possibilities. But this is personal growth, right? There's possibilities out there. And you're right with the Three of Swords energy. You know, the Three of Swords is a card about heartbreak and some sorrow, you know. But you know, it's also a catalyst for growth for you also, right? And some personal growth is accepting, right? Accepting the things that has hurt us, accept the things that that has caused us to feel the way we are feeling at the moment. Accept them, you know, and the growth will come. You know, allow yourself to feel what, if there's pain, allow yourself to feel it. It's okay, you're human. You know, understanding the source of it, okay, and using it, and you know, using it to rebuild your life in a more with a stronger foundation. All right. And you know, the magician is the creator. You're the creator of your life. You manifest. It's the manifester, right? It's the card of manifestation, okay? Personal power. All right, you have the tools. You have the tools to create a wonderful life for yourself. All right, and you have what it takes to create in your material world as well. Okay, it's an awakening for you. You know, it's awakening to your own capabilities, your own mental strength, your own intellectual capacity. You know, you are everything that you need. You have the tools that you need to create a wonderful life. Okay, this is a type of momentum that you need to create your future, but you also need to stop being a victim also. Okay, I know that you are a conscious creator, and you are the Queen of Wands, right? The Queen of Wands is vibrant and passionate about life, okay, and self-expression. You know, the Queen of Wands is not afraid to be oneself. You know, you're on a growth journey, Aries, a journey of growth, and you know, there's a lot of success for you if you stay on the road, on the path to of growth, right? Be comfortable in your own skin, okay? Be confident that you're in a place where you're supposed to be, and you know, and love yourself, okay? We don't love ourselves. There's no one. We can't expect others to love us. Okay. Okay, so that's personal growth. We're going into money. Three of Swords. The Hierophant. The Strength card. The Ten of Cups. The Page of Cups. The Four of Wands. And the Seven of Cups. So the Three of Swords is a very sharp financial card. Financial pain. All right. You may have some financial loss somehow, whether it's be a job, a project, or investment. So you need to pay attention to your finances and the things around you also, okay? You know, it can also be in the form of an unexpected expense, perhaps, you know, car repair or a roof, something like that, you know. But it could also be a job layoff, okay? Some type of financial plan that didn't go the way you wanted it. Remember, these are possibilities. It's just, these are just warnings, right? Telling you to pay attention. And here's the Hierophant, okay? You know, it's, you know, the Hierophant in a money reading it represents traditional financial systems, right? Conventional wisdom, you know, you following the advice of a professional, okay, or you seeking the advice of a professional, okay, like a financial advisor, a banker, you know, and sticking to conservative methods, okay. You know, rather than taking wild risk, but there's always risk, okay. And your next card is the Strength card, which indicates financial success. So whatever it is that you're going to experience with the Three of Swords, you're going to grow from it through the Hierophant, right? You're going to seek advice, and you'll prevail with the Strength card. You know, some type of financial success, you coming back, you recouping your losses, okay? But it also talks about having self-control, okay? And managing your finances wisely as well, all right? You know, you'll get through it. And here you are at the Ten of Cups, right? Ten of Cups energy. You know, and it looks like things will go fine because, you know, you have ultimate emotional fulfillment there, you know. You know, it's achieving a state of financial bliss. So if you did have some loss, you'll recoup it, and it looks like recoup it and maybe some more as well, okay. So that's really great. You know, the money situation is going to bring you and your family complete happiness and harmony is what the Ten of Cups is saying, okay. You know, it's just not about being rich, but it's also about your financial life being perfectly aligned with your emotional dreams as well, okay? Creating a, long-term, like, financial family legacy, okay? So this is money that's going to be passed on. And here's the Page of Cups. You know, the Page of Cups is the card that signals beginnings, right? New emotional, new beginnings, um, emotionally driven financial ideas could be, or new opportunities. It could be a new business also, right? A new investment strategy. It could even be a hobby that's creating money for you, perhaps an additional hustle, a new promotion, a new job, something that's going to elevate you financially. Okay. And I mean, it's not a huge amount, but it's significant enough to really help you on your financial journey. Okay. But you need to be curious also. Okay. And here's the Four of Wands. You know, the Four of Wands talks about building a solid foundation. Okay. It could also, this is another investment card, another successful investment card. You have the Ten of Cups, okay? So this is not financial advice, just so that you guys know, okay? So it talks about an investment paying off. You know, it could be even you buying a home, selling a home, selling some type of material possession, could be a car even. But you'll make something that you're going to make a profit of, okay? And the Seven of Cups talking about you having a lot of options financially, right? You know, you'll have a lot of options in front of you, but be careful of get rich quick schemes also, okay? It could be in the guise of, you know, becoming rich. So just be careful of that. Do your homework, do the research, and make sure what you're doing, and don't put your eggs into one basket. Make sure that this financial scheme is, you know, what you want, or you can afford to lose. Okay? And you're not going to be like, you know, if you lose your money, you're not going to end up homeless. But don't put all your eggs in one basket, and don't wager your family's security also, okay? And it also talks about you have so many options, you're going to be paralyzed by it, where you will not know what to do. But if you're seeking financial guidance, you know, talk to your financial advisor, you know, for help. Okay, moving on to love. Things look good for your Aries. I mean, a little hiccup here and there, but you're going to be fine. Little bumps. It's such is life, right? As long as you bounce back from it, you'll be fine. You have to allow yourself to bounce back from it. You don't, you know, get stuck looking back. Alright? Okay, so love for Aries for December. You have the Two of Wands, Seven of Cups, Page of Wands, the Hierophant again, The World, that's a really nice card. The King of Cups. And the Knight of Swords. Wow. You have some choices there, Aries. Between a person that's your age and someone that might be younger also. Or if you are in a relationship, you may have you or your person may have some type of admirer. Okay, so starting with the Two of Wands on your journey, you know, you have some decision making to do, you know, regarding your future of a relationship. Okay, again, often involve choices, right? And the direction you want to take your commitment. You know, if you want to take the relationship to the next level, you know, there's a lot of planning going on and consideration. You know, do you want to, you know, is this the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, or is this person you want to be your companion throughout your journey, or on your journey, on your path, right? You can also, there is a possibility of travel too with your connection or a connection, and it's going to change your relationship dynamics also, okay, going forward. And you arrive at the Seven of Cups. Yeah, multiple choices. You have multiple choices. Wow. You may be, you know, overwhelmed at this time with your choices, Aries. You know, but don't be, you know, sometimes the grass is not always green on the other side, but that's for you to discern, right? That's for you to figure out what you want to do, right? You have to figure out if the other people, if, you know, their desires are real, or your desires are real, or it's just, you know, fantasy in your head. You're fantasizing or having wishful, or some type of wishful thinking, you know. You know, the card is telling you to seek clarity, all right, and do some self-reflection to avoid, you know, misleading others into your emotional fantasies, all right. And here you are at, you know, the Page of Wands. You know, it's a card of action. You know, it's a lot of energy and enthusiasm. You know, you do have an adventurous spirit, Aries. You know, the card also talks about new, you know, new passions, new romantic partners, possibly, you know, a lot of curiosity, you know, and eager to explore different connections in different ways. You know, it could also be, you know, sexual as well. You know, your own desires, you know, to approach love in a different way, you know. And here's the Hierophant, right? Which is, so you're torn between what you want to do and how you want to pursue your romantic or sexual desires versus what society tells you should do. Okay, that's basically what's happening here. Okay. You may believe at your age perhaps you should be in a long-term relationship, but it might not be necessary something you necessarily want, but is maybe have some pressure from family, perhaps friends, even society in general. And the way you want to live, it may not be conducive to your family life. Okay? So it also does involve some type of commitment. It does talk about commitment for some of you, such as marriage or some union of some type, which aligns with your values. So whomever it is that you're going to settle down with, they'll have shared values, same cultural beliefs and expectations. But it also tell you, if you're confused, seek the guidance of spiritual guidance, seek the guidance of a mentor, perhaps, or someone you can talk to, a parent, maybe a friend that has their life together, that can give you some good insight or some solid information that can help you decide. Okay, and here you have the world. You have the world in your hands. All right. In a love reading, it signifies completion, right? Fulfillment. Okay, a successful love journey, a relationship. Okay, that has come full circle. So you'll have to make a decision whether or not you want to take it to the next level. You're leveling up in with your connection. You've developed a deep emotional bond, a long-term commitment, something really, really wholesome, that brings harmony. It's a powerful sign also that your connection, you and your connection, has really leveled up. You've really worked hard. You've really stuck by each other, to achieve balance despite, all what's happening around you, because there's a lot of things happening around you right now, right? Your connection has their own issues, and you as well, but you guys managed to come together and remain solid in your love, right? And here's the King of Cups. Now the King of Cups is someone who's mature, emotionally mature. Could be you or your person. Someone who's compassionate. Person's also nurturing, very caring. Okay. But someone who does not make emotional decisions either. Okay, very logical. Okay. And, the King of Cups is also, seeking a partner that who is able to attain a deep spiritual love connection also. He's also, the King of Cups is also, supportive and empathetic and capable of deep love, deep intimacy. Okay, just not superficial, right? That's truly true love, right? Capable of true love. And here's the Knight of Swords, who's ready to, who's fast. And these could be your choices also. Okay. The Knight of Swords is a fast-moving card. This person could be very direct also, if that's not you or your person. A person who's the Knight of Swords is assertive person. Could be chasing you, or vice versa. They're driven by passion, and when they want something, they want something. The person's very dynamic also. You may also need, and it also suggests communication. You need to have some kind of communication, because if you are in a relationship already, and this is somebody who's, pursuing you, or, and you know, you may be doing the flirting thing also. You need to open the communication and really you need to put it to an end. You need to stop, right? Or at least communicate to, you know, to the Knight of Wands, if it's not you or your person, that your position right now. Okay, this person's always very smart also, very, very smart. And do resolve a lot of emotional issues, you know, by fast action. You know, your relationship, Aries, is at a pivotal point. You know, you're kind of like at a crossroads, honestly. You know, you're balancing your dreams and your reality. Your reality might be your current relationship, and your dreams might be this other person, right? So you need to make some really deep, conscious choices on how you want to move forward with this relationship, with your relationships. Okay? I mean, you have a lot of passion. There's a lot of passion there. Okay? But, you know, in personal growth and you know, lasting bond, but you have to make a choice. Okay? You have to make a choice. You have to make a choice. Right? Okay, I'm gonna pull an energy card for you. Your energy card is self-love, right? Self-love is the foundation of all love, and that is so true. Thank you, Aries, for stopping by. See you next time. Stay positive.